Hi guys, I'm Hayden Crawford from the Dreamtime Academy and welcome to today's live Starseed Numerology Insights with a little bit of a psychic twist. Now, today I'm going to be offering you some insights based around your date of birth, which is, your soul's choice. You actually choose what day, time and place that you incarnate upon the earth. And actually, I'm able to read that and look at your personality blueprint, your strengths and weaknesses, and the best times for you to embark on new projects and ventures. Plus, also looking at your starseed origins, purpose and direction and mission for 2021 as well. So we get a lot of information from your actual birth date. Now, remembering as well that your name carries a vibrational resonance as well. So your living name, which is the name that you like to go by, not necessarily the name that's on your birth certificate. So if you're a Christine, for example, you might always go by Chris, so you'd use that name instead. But today we're only really doing some mini insights to be able to look at your date of birth. And from there, we can get your ruling number and your day number influences, and also your personal year cycle influences as well, and your arrows of individuality as well. So we can get quite a lot of information from there. Hiya, Steph, and hiya, Jesse. Nice to see you both here. How are you doing? Hopefully you're really well. What time is it where you are in the world? Leave a few comments. And hello, Luminacha. Hope you're doing well as well. Now, I'm feeling a little bit cajangled is probably the best word for it, because I've just spent the last 4 days running an incredible consciousness expanding wellness retreat in the Perth Hills. It's been fantastic. It's been we had 7 sisters, 7 wise women who joined us on the retreat, and Marky, my husband, was doing all the cooking and I was doing all of the workshops, and we had a yogini came in and she was offering some amazing gentle stretching in the morning, and it was actually on the morning of the equinox as well, so on the 22nd, Sunday the 22nd. Was that Sunday the 22nd? No, it was Sunday the 21st, wasn't it? I've lost the day somewhere. There you go. It's okay, cool. Brilliant. Your neighbors start their laundry at 3 a.m., but it wakes you up every time. 3 a.m. That's crazy. And Steph, it's 4:30 a.m. as well. What are you guys still doing awake? It's very, very early for you, isn't it? Okay, but I'm going to start off today by picking out a card. Okay, now this is from my Starseed Oracle deck, and it's going to give you some insights as to what's going on for you at the moment and the best ways to be able to navigate these energies, because it is pretty high, vibration energy at the moment that's hit the planet from the equinox. So on the 20th, the 21st and 22nd, actually it was the 19th, 20th, 21st and 22nd, we had a big download of plasma light energy, which has been upgrading our DNA to the, the crystalline version, so the non-carbon based DNA. So you might have felt some shifts. I don't know about you, but I've been feeling a little bit lightheaded, a bit dizzy, and it can affect your sleep as well. So that's possibly why you're awake. And hello to you, Jess Takata. Nice to see you, Jess. All right. So if you want me to look at your insights today, you just need to leave your date of birth in the comments section. So it needs to be in the format of day, month, and year. Please remember to like the video and share it with all of the people that you care about in your life that you think will benefit from this session today. Now, I'm going to be doing a free workshop as well over the next couple of weeks, and I've left in the community forum a poll for you to fill out, because there's 5 different subjects that I'm thinking about doing this free live workshop with you on, from things like ancestral and soul contract removal to starseed origins and mission, all the way through to the forgiveness process and cutting cords, all sorts of different things like that. So have a look through the ideas that I've put in the community and make sure that you leave your vote for what you'd like. Okay, so this is the card. The card that's come in is the Whale and Orca Elders again, the Whale and Orca Elders. All right. It is slightly different, different from the normal numerology readings that I offer. There you go. And Luminacha says, I'd love and appreciate me to do hers. I'll have a look at yours as well. Okay. And Jess, I'll have a look at yours too. So the Whale and Orca Elders. All right. So what does this actually mean? Well, First of all, we've got to remember that the whales are high intelligent beings. You know, they come from the Pleiades, so they were seeded through from the Pleiades and put on the planet to actually help to balance the electromagnetic energy around the planet. So actually, when the whales and the orcas come in, it's about reminding you, you know, that you've got to share your song as well. You know, and I know that, you know, Jesse, you do that very well because you're a musician. But, you know, for everybody else watching, you know, make sure that you share your unique power and gifts on the planet, because that's why you've come here, really. You've come in with a very, very beautiful, sweet song to share to everybody to benefit from. So if you don't do that, then unfortunately, what can happen is that you miss your purpose work, which, you know, you never want to do that, do you? Hey to you, Abantika Das. Nice to see you. Hope you had a great weekend. I get smells of things. You feel the energies in people, and they let you not start about the ringing in. Oh, let's not start about the ringing in your ears. And hello to Suzanne as well. How are you? So make sure you leave where you are in the world as well today. All right, let me know where you are, what time it is. And Jesse says he gets the ringing as well. Yeah, it can be a bit challenging. You know, the whales, they exist on a higher dimensional frequency. They know how to tune into it, and that's why they vibrate their resonance through the water and actually can be heard for thousands and thousands of miles in amongst the whale community, as it were. Yeah, it's spiritual upgrades. It's definitely not tinnitus at all. So Jess Carter says, I'm in Switzerland, and Abantika's in India. It's 2 p.m. there. Oh, that's good. Alexandria, how are you? You caught me live. You did indeed. And it's 5:29 there. Is it Luminacha? Okay. And your divorce was final on Thursday. Congratulations, Jesse. It means that you're a free man. You're a free man to wander and explore new people and new places now without the guilt that's associated with and attached to it as well. Excellent. So remember, guys, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, please make sure you like the video and share it with your friends and family as well. So just share it into your groups on Facebook or through YouTube or Insta, and just let people know what I do. You know, once every so often I come live and I offer these insights to really help you to be able to find out exactly what you're here to do and what you're here for. New chapter, exactly, Jesse. So Abantika says, today I saw this dream with 2 main themes, and after getting up, those 2 things happened. There you go. You feel like you're going crazy. Well, there you go. So that's called a premonition. You're jumping forward down your timeline and seeing something that's already happened. Okay, remember, time doesn't exist. The past, the present, and the future are all running simultaneously. Okay. Exactly. We're all wishing you a bright new start, Jesse. Jesse says he's been into amethyst crystals. Beautiful. Excellent. Last night you entered home and smelled sweets with no sweets being there. I feel like celebration incoming and got goosebumps. So confused. Interesting. It can happen like that. Definitely. All right, then. Well, look, what we're going to do is I'm just going to pick one of you out to begin with. And I think I'm going to go to you. What's your real name? Luminata. What's your real name? I'll have a look at yours. So you're the 31st of the 7th, 1976. Okay, so I'm just transferring your numbers into the birth chart now, and then we'll be able to get your insights for you. So you got the 2 1s, 9, 2 7s as well, which are isolated. You got 2 arrows, a positive one and a negative one. I'll show you what they look like. Have a slurp of tea. Okay, so anything else that you want to share? Hello, Theo. Nice to see you from Arizona. Very nice to see you, Theo. And Sage Pepper, it's Anastasia. Hi, Anastasia. Thanks for joining us today. It's awesome to see you here. Remember to like the video, guys. I can see how many of you have liked it. Only 3 of you so far. All you have to do is hit like and share with your friends and family. There you go. So press like, hit like. Nobody's liking. Naughty, naughty. I'll know when you've liked. If you don't like, you don't get a reading. Yeah, I'm going to be firm. I'm going to be butch today. I'm going to be mean. There you go. That's better. There you go. Come on. Keep doing it. Come on, Theo. Come on, Anastasia. So it's Luminata. Luminata. There you go. So you started to use a pendulum to ask questions and verify the guidance that you're getting. Good for you. It's a great way to do it. Hi, Ram. You're on your phone, are you? Yeah. Okay, so this one's for you, Luminata. There you go. Okay, so what we can see there is that I'm going to go this way, actually, so I can hold the bottles up. I'm going to use the colour mirrors as well today as well. You've got the arrow of the intellect. Now, what that means, Luminata, is, you know, that you've got a very active mind. So all 3 numbers there on your mind plane. So we separate it into the mind, the emotions, and the physical body. So they are the 3 planes of existence. And the 3, 6, and 9 are on the mind plane. So you've got a very active mind. Your imagination, your creativity, and your wisdom are all stimulated. So that means often that you've got a good long-term memory, but you might not necessarily have a good short-term memory. You were taking vegetables out of the oven, were you, Anastasia? Yeah. Good. Well, yeah, you don't want to be liking anything on your phone when you're taking vegetables out of the oven because you might burn your fingers. That wouldn't be cool. There you go. So Steph said, I read tarot sometimes, but I've never really felt strongly towards any modality. I dabble in many areas. You're a bit of a dabbler, are you, Steph? Yeah. Have a little bit of a dabble. Well, they say variety is the spice of life, don't they? You've been liking all of the videos, Alexandria, yeah? Hey, the interesting thing is I've been doing a report today, Alexandria, for another Virgo called Alexandra, and her chart was almost identical to yours. She was born, I think, 3 days before you. It was so crazy. And I was pretty blown away because you both actually put your requests in for your Starseed Numerology reports at the same time. And there it was. It's funny how it happens. Good. Yeah, we'll have a look at yours, Zabantika, in a second, all right? But we're on to Luminata at the moment. So we can also see you've got a weak soul protection, Luminata, because what that means is when you've got no numbers on your soul plane is that you get easily hurt. So it's like, you know, your soul protection is weak. So, you know, that can lead to you becoming a little bit aloof or prickly, you know, have a bit of a hard exterior because you just, you know, you kind of self preserving in a way. And, you know, it can lead you to isolate yourself a little bit as well. Sometimes you do like the material aspects of life. So for you, because you're a day number 4, the 4 energy is on the physical plane. And it's like often people who have a day number 4 are good with their hands. So it might be that, you know, you're a doing person, or you might like active participation in life. You might like the physical aspects of life. Yeah. So it's interesting. So even though you've got an active mind, you're also quite practical. You're creative. You've got a vivid imagination. Your memory's stimulated, but you do get easily hurt. So you can isolate yourself. Now, you've also got these 2 isolated 7s here. And that means that you've got some form of sacrifice that comes up for you in 2 of these 3 areas. So either love, health, or money. So two of those, only two. And those lessons keep on repeating themselves until you've learned your lesson. And then you can kind of like go, all right, I can move on from this now. Yeah. Thea says, I've awakened a lot since my reading with you, Hayden. Thank you for remembering the session. I'm having a hard time finding the recording on the Dropbox now, though. Ah, okay. That's fine, Theo. It's no problem at all. It's funny because I actually saw either a picture of you on Facebook about a week ago or something like that, and I could see in your eyes, I could see it in your sort of energy that you've changed. You know, that you've had some sort of quite a few breakthroughs, and you seem to be a lot more at peace with yourself, Theo, which actually came across in the energy from the photograph, which I think is really good. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm absolutely, you know, stoked to be able to offer you lots and lots of free content on my YouTube channel, because, you know, it's a great place to start if you're just awakening and you want to know more. And then, of course, you know, when you get a bit braver, then you can tackle some of my paid courses like the level 1 and level 2 numerology and the color therapy and, you know, the color mirrors practitioner course and things like that as well, because they're really good if you really want to kind of take your wisdom to the next level. But there's heaps of free content as well. So yeah, so you've got these things that go on with sacrifice in your life. So you'll know what it is, you know, either love, health, or money, two of those things, and they'll keep repeating themselves for you, Luminata. You also, you're a good listener, you're a good talker. Sometimes you react to emotional situations, and you are a 9, 10, 17, 23, 33, 34. You're a ruling number 7. So the ruling 7 people like to learn through their own experiences. So you don't like being told what to do. You like to explore the deeper meaning behind life. Okay. And, you know, that's really great, because the 7 energy is, you know, illusions, mysteries, miracles, magic, and faith. That's my day number influence, your ruling numbers. This is the biggest influence for you. It's that like pale turquoise over turquoise, bottle 7. I gave all my bottles a good buff yesterday. Yeah, I buffed them all. When I got back from the retreat, because I took all my bottles to the Awakening retreat in the Perth Hills. And of course, you know, they're all getting sort of manhandled. So, you know, I was like, I've got to clear their energy. And you can see how sparkly they are. Can you see that? Look at the sheen on that. So that one is, that one there is called Neptune. All right. Oh, you saw the photos, Jesse? Yeah, good. Excellent. Ram says, you're less tearful now. The beginning, the end for your grandmother. No more errands. Very yawny, though. Haven't stopped since the doctor confirmed. I now can't cry, but need to. Yeah, well, yawn your way through it. That might be the best option sometimes. You know, it's a sad period. Sometimes we yawn. Yawning is a form of release as well. And Theo says, yes, he'd love another session soon. Thank you for noticing, and I will email you and follow up soon. Please thank you, Hayden. You're a remarkable practitioner. Thank you, Theo. I'm glad that it benefited you anyway. Theo, just so you all know, Theo's talking about my one-on-one Zoom sessions that I offer. It's like a sort of like a psychic color therapy consultation, which brings in deep subconscious repatterning and healing and removal of old soul contracts and ancestral agreements and forgiveness and inner child healing. So it's very deep subconscious work. So you kind of release all of the, you know, the dark stuff that's no longer serving you. Yeah. So it's amazing, really, what can take place very, very quickly. Alexandra says she sees 777 all the time. It isn't just for women, no. It's interesting because I get more and more men having sessions with me now. And I think it's because, you know, guys are evolving as well. It's not just women, you know, guys are actually taking the bull by the horns as well and starting to, you know, to sort of move forward with their stuff. Yeah, absolutely, Jesse. Well, look, I mean, if you fancy a session with me, then just let me know. We can have a private one-on-one session as well. Just let me know, and I can send you some details. You'll find it all on my website anyway. Jess says, my boss just called. Oh no, what, are you supposed to be at work? You haven't missed anything. Don't worry. That's it. A lot of people do yawn when they're nervous. So both of your numbers, I'll show you what your other one looks like. So both of your numbers are on the physical plane, your main numbers. Okay, so that one is your day number influence, which is number 4, Uranus, which is the planet of the future. Okay, so you need to go through your life, Luminata, letting go of old structures, people, places, situations, events, and beliefs that no longer serve you. And then you've also got the 7 energy as well, which is about learning through your own experiences. So, you know, it's all on the physical plane, your numbers. So it actually offers balancing reinforcement to your personality blueprint. So leave a few comments and let me know what you thought. Yeah, good night to you, Theo. We'll see you next time, all right? It's late in Arizona. Steph says, I think women are generally more open to esoteric, but men are starting to join the community. You're right. Hello there. Absolutely, positively, Hannah. Nice to see you from New Zealand. Excellent. You're in a neighboring country to me. And remember, Luminata, you know, like if you liked your insights today and you want to know more, remember, we're only working on your date of birth, just a few insights from that. And if you want something that's more substantial, the Starseed Numerology Reports are still on special for only 59 Australian dollars until the end of March. So you've still got another week, and that'll go into your living name and your birth chart as well. And it'll look at all those influences and also look at where your soul originated from after it left source consciousness, you know. So, you know, like after you left the big white light, you then decided to go and experience life in a particular star system. And that could have been like the Pleiades or Orion or Sirius or, you know, Andromeda, like me, which is 22 million light years away from here. And then you come to Earth with a particular purpose, you know, helping people with various different releases, really, or, you know, healings around various different chakra systems. So it's good to always know, you know, and then you can do the work. Yeah, no worries at all. What I'll do is I'll leave a link in the comments section soon, and then you can click on that and you can order it through my online shop. They do take around about sort of 5 to 7 business days to create, though, because they are, you know, sort of handcrafted. So I do them. They're not computer generated. So there's a lot of work that goes into them. Alexandria says they're amazing. What did yours come out at again? I can't remember. Alexandria, are you a Pleiadian or were you Andromedan? Abantika, I'm going to come to you now. Okay, so let's have a look. Abantika. You're welcome, Luminata. Jesse says, I get visions of other worlds, and you had your first telepathic ET experience recently. Oh, tell us more about that. That sounds fascinating, Jess. I know it takes a bit of time to kind of learn what these things mean. So Abantika was born on the 13th of the 6th, 1993. So you've got a lot of numbers as well on your mind plane. It's interesting. Lots of numbers on your mind plane. So I actually got the same arrows. So what I was just saying to Luminata, actually a lot of it applies to you as well, Abantika. Bless her, my cat didn't like it when we did the retreat over the last 4 days. Because Lala, she's called. She's a chocolate point ragdoll. And, you know, she's quite sensitive. So, you know, she doesn't like being on her own, bless her. So she avoided us when we got in last night. She was a bit like, you're back. Where have you been, you bastards? You know, she was a bit like that. So she's been a bit aloof today. I think she's just coming around. She puked in Mark's office earlier on. I had to clean it up. Oh, you were taking a Moldavite salt bath at the time. You know what? Moldavite is really being activated a lot at the moment. I've heard a few people say that they've had very, very intense experiences with Moldavite. So Moldavite basically is an extraterrestrial crystal. Well, it was a rock that hit the earth and made the earth in certain places turn into molten like sort of substance. And that is actually what is Moldavite is. It's like the intense heat has created it. Yeah, they do punish you for leaving them. They can be really mean. So, Abantika, you've got a very, very active mind. You're very creative. Your imagination can run away with you, and you've got a good memory, but your long-term memory is better than your short-term memory. You've got a great depth of wisdom as well. It does make you feel very buzzy. Yeah. Yeah, totally. It's a fascinating one. Do you know what? As well, like one of the essences that I work with in the color mirrors is called Moldavite, and it's a very, very deep green. It's like a murky kind of green color, and it smells so intense. And it's been infused with Moldavite. That one, it's like I don't actually like the smell of it because it's too intense for me. But for a lot of people, they have huge shifts with Moldavite, and especially awakening as well. They have like awakenings to where they've come from and what they're here to do. So Abantika, you also have a weak soul protection, so you get easily hurt. So what we can see here is this, the lack of the numbers, the 2, 5, and 8 on the soul plane. So it just means, again, you can be a bit aloof. You can put on a bit of a prickly outer hard exterior because it's self-preservation, really. Again, you're somebody who is your chart is so similar, so similar to Luminata's. You've got the day number 4 as well, so you're very practical, good with your hands. You like the manual arts, but you sometimes feel like you have to, because the 13 is a karmic number. So you sometimes feel like you have to work harder than a lot of people, to be able to achieve the things that you want in your life. And again, you can isolate yourself a little bit as well. So become a bit of a hermit. There you go. You remember professional stuff well, but you forget personal stuff at times. Yeah. And Steph says, I'm too sensitive, like super sensitive. So while I appreciate them, I don't really work with crystals. Okay. No, that's interesting. It might just not be the right resonance for you. There you go. Who had webbed hands? Okay, so your ruling number is a 9, 10, 19, 22, 28, 29, 33, 1, 32. So you're a number 5. Your ruling number is a 5. So I'll show you what your color influences are. Now the 5s really feel things very intensely, because if you think about the number 5, it's like it right in the center of the emotional plane. So it's the heart energy, and the heart, we know, in color therapy is green. So this is Mercury. This is your ruling number influence, Abantika. And Mercury is flowing, it's fluid. And it kind of like, it needs freedom. So green in color therapy is about space. So you need space and freedom, and you need to be able to express yourself with light, happy-go-lucky people that allow you to be who you are. So the 5, it doesn't like to feel constricted in any way. And then your day number influence there is that one there, which is called Uranus, which is about letting go. So your soul comes in to let go of old structures in your life that keep you small, and it wants freedom. So really, for you to be happy, you can't hold on to things, houses, people, anything really. You just need to be like one of life's travelers. Go and explore the world, go and see new things, new places, new people. Go and see it all. Yeah, Jess, I'll do yours next for you, okay? So Abantika, it's very interesting, and like we've noticed this before many times, haven't we? Where what happens is you get sort of like a wave of people that come into the Dreamtime Healing Room, which is where you are today, and they have very similar numerology influences. Like both Abantika and Luminata, they've both had the same arrows and the influence of the 4 as their day number. Okay, so often you will also receive information through from somebody who's got a very similar birth chart to yourself. And remember, Abantika, this is literally just some minor insights really based around the the sort of combination of the numbers in your chart. And if you want something more intense and more in depth, then I highly recommend the Starseed reports as well. So they, as I mentioned before, they are still on special for only 59 Australian dollars until the end of March. So you've got another another 7 days. You've got the soul of a vagabond. You do indeed. You've got the soul of a vagabond, and you're doing it to pave the way for new energy, fresh new energy to come in. Okay. Okay, Jess, I'll have a look at yours next. Sorry, Jess, I've forgotten where you said you're from. Whereabouts in the world are you from, Jess? Okay, so this one's quite different to the last one because obviously Jess was born in 2000. So anyone who's born in 2000, often, they don't have the influence of the 9 or the 1 if they're, obviously you do, but they have a lot more arrows, negative arrows in their chart. So they're more sensitive than anybody else, like that was born in the 1900s. That's okay. So yeah, so what we can see there, you've got the arrow of poor memory. So it's exactly the opposite to the arrow that we've just seen present in Luminata's and Abantika's reading, where they had all of those numbers on the mind plane. Remember, this is the mind plane, the 3, 6, and 9. The soul plane or the emotions is the 2, 5, and 8, and the physical numbers are the 1, 4, and 7. So look, what you've got there is no numbers on your mind plane. So this means that it's harder for you to be able to retain information. It's like you don't learn in traditional ways because you are very sensitive. Okay. So, it's almost like this, it's called the arrow of poor memory. So, and actually, you have to work harder than other people to be able to learn things in normal ways. So you might need to develop your left brain, sort of skills so that you can learn things better. Because you don't want in later life, if you're lazy with it, you don't want to develop something like Alzheimer's or, what's the other one called? Slipped my mind. I haven't got 3 in my chart. That's why, like my memory, I have to really work hard with my memory as well. Jess says, oh, that's very true. I had to do studying therapy because I could never learn when I wasn't motivated. Well, that's right, because also you've got this arrow here of passivity. So that's the active end of your birth chart. And you see, you don't have the 7, 8, and 9. So when you don't have that, it's almost like you can be quite passive and you can delay starting projects or not start them at all. So it's almost like, you kind of need a bit of a kick up the bum sometimes when, to get stuff done. So yeah, it can prove to be lazy. So study therapy would have been good for you. That's it. Dementia, Steph. Thank you. That's what I meant. There you go. Alexandra says, my son is a Sagittarius, fiery and blunt. They can be a bit blunt sometimes. So Jess, you are quite a practical person because you've got the 4. Now the energy of the 4 is kind of grounded, practical, methodical, physical. And the 2s, you've got 2 2s, so that amplifies your true feminine energy, which is sensitivity and intuition. So you're very sensitive. You're actually quite intuitive. You like animals and old people. You're quite empathic. So sometimes you might take on other people's emotions. You might take on, and then you think that they're your own, but you are quite organized. There is a good sense of organization with you, but you like feeling free. So you're a day number 5. So we had the 1 and the 4 together from the 14 here, and it makes 5. So the 5 is freedom. You don't like being restricted. So you'd be better off not having a normal job, like a 9 till 5, because that would freak you out. You need to be able to communicate. You feel things very intensely. You need bright, happy company around you. Yeah. So that's what we can see there. You've got the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're a ruling number 10 person. All right. So you're 10 energy. And I'll show you what that looks like. You've got quite a lot of green energy in your colors. The 10 is gold over olive green. So this one here is your ruling number influence. Now the 10 is the manifester. So you'd be better off having your own business. You are a leader, but you lead with a very soft feminine power that can never be abused. So, the gold represents value and being able to pull a rabbit out of a hat. But also, it's like a soft feminine power, like the goddess Isis, the Egyptian goddess who gave birth to the sun. So, a lot of the time, your relationships can remain a little bit superficial because you don't really want people knowing what's going on for you with your emotions. You keep your space with your emotions for heart-related healing. So you've got those 2 colors there, which come in as your soul colors for your date of birth. So that's Mercury and the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, so, beautiful, really. So you are a conscious creator. So if someone gives you lemons, you'll make lemonade. You find a way of being able to, sort of do the best with what you've got. And actually, so you can be a little bit superficial with people occasionally as well. So just work on that. There you go. So Jess says, that's what I'm doing right now, but I work in a place that I really like, where I can speak to people about my passion. So I'm trying to balance that next to studying. Great. Good. There you go. That's a nice name, isn't it? Alexandria. Zorian. Yeah, he's a sensitive little starseed. 2008. It's got 3 2s in his chart, Alexandria. So he's quite psychic, quite empathic and intuitive. He'd probably work well with animals, but he's quite independent. He likes to be in control, very vivid imagination and memory. And he's very fun-loving. And he's quite sociable as well. That's all right, Jess. Did you like that? Did that make sense? It's interesting, isn't it? You see, we can get also like the influence for the year ahead for you as well from your personal year cycle number. And we get that by adding up the numbers in your date of birth, like your day number and month number with the current year cycle, because we're in 2021. So that's a 5. So yours would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. So you're in a 4 this year. So your personal year cycle is a 4. And it goes in peaks and troughs. So when it gets to a 4, it kind of goes into a trough. So sometimes you can feel like things aren't moving forward in your life very fast in a trough year of the 4, like you're going through now. And sometimes what that means for you is that, that you might have to rest up your physical body because it might need to repair, or you might need to build yourself up. Like I'm in my personal year cycle for this year as well. And so, I started going to the gym about 3 months before the year came in and started losing weight. So I dropped 12 kilos in the last, 7 months or something. And, my physical body has got back into shape again, whereas I was starting to go, sort of go the wrong way. And I need the energy to be able to, sort of carry me forward over the next 5 years of my 9-year cycle. And the same thing can happen with you as well. So Alexandria says, yes, he is. Yes. Yeah, he is. He's very, very sensitive though. And he's quite, he's quite feminine. So Jessie says, Hayden, do you have any healing advice, shadow work, etc.? Well, yeah, I do. I mean, if you're wanting to do shadow work, it's best to get somebody to facilitate that healing for you. An expert, somebody who's been working with the shadows for a long time, or in a child healing. It's very difficult to do it yourself, shadow work, because you need somebody who understands where you're hiding things. So I mean, I've worked with thousands of clients over the last 5 years, and over that period of time, I kind of know where people hide things. So you've got to be able to go into the subconscious mind And you've got to align the subconscious mind with the conscious mind, because if they're telling two different stories, guess which one wins? Go and have a guess. Leave a comment. Let me know if you think it's the conscious mind or the subconscious mind. Go and have a guess and I'll tell you. Because obviously, unless you understand this, you're never going to become a conscious creator of your own reality, because the subconscious mind, the subconscious, Jesse, it is, the subconscious mind always wins. So what we have to do, Jess, we have to align them both. So what I do is I take you through a process of aligning the two minds. So that often means shining light into the shadows and actually learning to love them. Because the key to all forgiveness really is letting go and forgiveness. Yeah, so Steph said Friedrich Nietzsche has talked a lot about that. Absolutely. Yeah. I studied Nietzsche because I did a film degree. It was film psychology at the Kent Institute of Art and Design in Maidstone in Kent. Yeah. And Alexandria says, yes, he had pink hair. Yeah. Are you okay if he's gay? It's okay to be gay for Zorian. But, you know, he might not be. He might just be a phase he's going through. Yeah, with forgiving. Definitely. Forgiving is key, but you've got to be able to forgive on the right timeline, you know, with the memories that are stuck, you know, as well as past, present, and future self, really. So it can take around about, well, the sessions that I do normally take between sort of 60 minutes and 90 minutes, and they're 125 Australian dollars. So I'm actually not that expensive compared to a lot of other healers. So that's Australian dollars, not American. Yeah, but you'll feel instantly different. Instantly different. Yeah, they're incredible. I don't schedule online, no. So if you want a session, you'll have to email me. What I'll do is I'll put my email address on there, because obviously I create a lot of content for courses and I run retreats. So I don't put too many consults into my diary at the moment because I've got lots of other things that I'm sort of playing with too. So I only offer really 5 sessions a week with regards to wellness consultations. So I kind of tend to choose my clients quite carefully. And normally, you know, I can sense like where you're at, and the right people always gravitate themselves towards me, and I can normally sense that. It is a Zoom call, Jesse. Yeah. So I'd send you a Zoom link. You click on the link, then we connect like face to face. So you see me, I see you, and then we go through that process together. And it's very, you know, it's a very gentle process. It's you know, don't be worried or scared. You know, it will just help you understand what's really going on for you. And I use the color mirrors to, you know, help you to understand what's actually happening for you, because the bottles really are, the top section is the conscious mind, and then the bottom section is the subconscious mind. So it's all based around color psychology. So I fully understand where you're at in your life, and then we move on from there. But he loves girls. Great. Okay, that's good. Good. You know, at the end of the day, you know, for anyone really, I think a lot of kids are becoming almost like gender neutral, aren't they? You know, it's like, it's not the same as it used to be where men had to be all macho and women had to be feminine. It's almost like whatever goes these days. It's whatever makes you happy. It's more about soul love and loving someone's soul, not necessarily about, you know, their physical body. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask the next person who can tell me what star sign I am in the comments section. If you've been listening over the weeks and you haven't had a reading yet today, they will be the next person who'll get the next insights. It is, Steph, it's about shedding the labels. You know, shedding the labels is like, oh, you know, I'm gay, I'm straight, I'm bi, I'm trans, you know, they're all just labels. It's no, I'm not. No, I'm not Arcturian. Well, actually, I do have a bit of Arcturian in me, but I asked for the zodiac sign. I'm not a Cancer. That's right. Come on, see if you can have a guess. Have a guess. The first person that gets it right. Go on, have a guess. You can do it. You can do it if you're being cute. See if you can see who guesses it right first. And then I'll be able to tell you if you're right or you're wrong. Just think about it. What do you think I am? Like based around my personality traits that I'm displaying? I'm not a Pisces, no, or a Scorpio, Jess. I am a Libra, Ram. Definitely Libra. You're right, Ram. Okay. Have I offered you any insights yet today? Okay, that's the link that I've just put in there for the Starseed Numerology Report. If you are planning on buying one of those, it's the best link to use because it'll take debit and credit cards and stuff like that, and it goes through a secure portal. So it's a good option. Ah, people call him gay because he was wearing pink boy shoes. That's bullshit, isn't it? God. My moon is Aquarius and rising Cancerian. There you go. I know you're supposed to be a super fan, Jesse. That's rubbish that you didn't even know that I was a Libran. Shame on you. I was born on the same day as your dad, the 16th of October, yeah? Libra. There you go. I knew there was Cancer and Aquarian. There you go. Boys were so mean to you growing up, were they, Jess? Yeah, because you were sensitive and different. Yeah, it was the same as me. You know, it was like they were calling me gay even before I even knew that I was. And so it was, yeah, it was quite challenging on the 16th. Yeah. There you go. So Ram says, "You like my brother and he's a Libran." There you go then. That just shows you, doesn't it? You were severely bullied as well, Steph. Yeah. I used to get I remember one guy, it was called Jonathan Barr, and like he used to get me in a headlock. And I used to get really bad stomach aches when I was at school. I don't even know why, because I never had anything wrong with my stomach. It might have just been fear, I should imagine. And he used to get me a headlock. And I remember one day I was on the school playground and he was just being so fucking awful. And he was like a couple of years older than me. I reckon he was gay himself, and he was just trying to reach out, but he didn't know how to deal with his sexuality. And I had this stomach ache, and I honestly thought I was going to die. It was like, what the hell is going on? The 9th of the 9th, 1989. Okay, let's have a look then, Ram. The 9th of the 9th, 1989. Wow, look at all those nines. So many nines, hey? How do you feel about having all those nines? What it means, Ram, is that you are very wise. Okay? Very, very wise. You see that? You reckon it's anxiety, yeah, the stomach being like that. All right, your ex-wife is your current bully, is she, Jess? Yeah. Oh well, it's a good job you got divorced then, isn't it? Hi, Jeanette. Jeanette Halton. Hi, my nephew used to play with his sister's dolls. We never worried about it. He also loved cars. Yeah, I was the same, you know. I had so many Matchbox cars, but I also liked to play with my sister's dolls as well. I used to like playing with Cindy and Action Man. But I think I just preferred like the dolls' clothes because they were a bit more colourful. Your name number is also a 9, is it? Oh, she's a total narcissist. Oh, you poor thing having to deal with that. How long were you with her for? You're like the family guru. Yeah, you would be. You had a dolly called Julie. My doll was called Kate. And she was actually, do you remember that film? It was called, oh, what was it called now? It was called like, shit, I can't remember it. It was like one of those space films. Anyway, she was called Kate, and she was in like a space film. I can't remember what it was called. And she had like a lilac tracksuit on. Oh my god. He called them his girls. Funny Jeanette. Okay, so you've got a daughter. So that's her method of control over you. Don't buy into it. Yeah, don't buy into the control. Okay, so yeah, so Ram, you've got all of this going on. Okay, so that's huge. You know, that's like 4 9s is very, very wise. You're here to like to be a healer and or a psychiatrist or a counselor. But you're a humanitarian, so you want to help people. It's like you'd make a great nurse or looking after old people. You know, you're a helper. You want to be of service in this world. It's a lot of fire energy, though. So you do have to make sure you speak up, you know, and do what you need to say instead of getting meek and mild and angry and frustrated. Because look, this is I'm a ruling 9 as well. So this is the color of your soul colors, you know, so it's red over orange. You see that? Look. Red over orange there. So it's very, 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 there's a lot of that energy there in your chart, see? And it really does mean that you've got to speak up for yourself instead of getting angry. But also, you know, it's, you know, a 9 never loses its integrity. It doesn't matter what you do with the number 9. So think about it, right? You could go 3 9s are 27, 2 and 7 is 9. 4 9s are 36, 3 and 6 is 9. 5 9s are 45, 4 and 5 is 9. Yeah. So it never loses its integrity. So you've got a lot of integrity. You got the day number 9. You're a 9, 10, 18, 19, 27, 36, 45. So you are a ruling 9 as well. Is that right? 9, 10, 19, 27, 36, 45. Yeah. All the 9s. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. It's crazy, isn't it? What do you reckon to that? So very much somebody who's here to heal. Where's your ruling number, Jess? What do you mean? There you go. My son has a lot of bear pandas. He says that he had angels, that they had angels inside. He would talk to them about me whilst we were separate, whilst I was sick. Interesting. Yeah, it's a bit of a wow, isn't it, Jeanette? Jeanette, you should leave your date of birth as well, and I'll have a look at yours next if you like. I don't think I've done your. Have I done your reading before? So I might start bringing in a few messages for you as well now as well. See if I can tune in and get some psychic messages for you. So I'm going to ask my highest and brightest angels and guides. Okay, so what we can see here as well, Ram, is that you've got the arrow of frustration. So difficulties for you during childhood. And that could have been that your mum and dad separated or that you felt like you didn't fit in, but also issues within adult relationships as well. You like to be in control and you really struggle communicating how you feel. All right, so you've only got the 1-1, so that's restriction around the throat. So you do struggle to speak up. And then also you've got what's called here, this is the arrow of the inquirer. So you are quite skeptical of new concepts or new ideas until you find them out to get your own proof, and then you become like an avid convert. Okay, so you have to go through that process. There you go. Yeah, it would have been like a red rag to a bull. Absolutely. She's saying that my school T-shirt color was red, so it was like a red rag to a bull. You surrounded by all that red. So you need green. You need space around you. You need to be out in nature. You need freedom to be able to cool down a bit. I'll have a look at yours next if you like, Jeanette. Whereabouts in the world are you, Jeanette? It's Jeanette Halton, yeah? Yeah, so Ram says, yes, difficult family life. That's scarily accurate. I know it is, isn't it? It's because what we're dealing with, what we're actually looking at is what's called the language of light. You know, so numbers and colors never lie because it's like the subconscious, they can never really be bastardized unless the person who's reading them doesn't know what they're doing. There you go. So Ram says, oh, I love wearing green, and you're wearing green right now as well. So Jeanette, you're in Canberra. Beautiful. Yeah, I can't believe all that hoo-ha about what's going on at the, government house in Canberra. Can you? Can't believe it. I cannot believe it. It's just, but this is what's happening in the world. Like, people are starting to speak up, and of course things are being exposed. The government, politics, media, all of that. Okay, so Jesse, you're a ruling number 22/4. So again, you're very sensitive, very intuitive, the 2s and the 4, but you're very practical. So you can put your spirit work into practical sort of pursuits and manifest it, okay? And that's what you've done, isn't it, really, with the music that you do? Yeah, it's a 22/4. It's a master number. So did you know, Jesse, there's less ruling number 22/4s than any of the other ruling numbers? It's the rarest one. Okay, so it means that you're here to guide humanity forward into the golden age. Yeah, so you've got a very special purpose. And see, your wife might have been restricting you from doing that because she'd have drained you. So you probably felt like you didn't want to do it. Yeah, so your ruling number is the same as your life path number. It is. But you see, what I'm doing is Pythagorean numerology. So Pythagoras adopted the wisdom that was developed through times of Atlantis. So really, numerology comes from Atlantis. Yeah, so that's what's fascinating about it. So, and we know that Atlantis was seeded by the Pleiadians and the Arcturians and the Orions and the Andromedans. So the language that I'm communicating is actually star language. There you go. You'll be a 10, Steph, not a 1. Yeah. So in Pythagorean, you don't reduce it down to a 1. There you go. So good for you, Jeanette, for not watching the news anymore. You know what I mean? I think sometimes the news can be very damaging. Like at the retreat that I did this weekend, obviously there were TVs there, but I didn't have time to watch it. And I just felt so much lighter by not having it on in the background. I mean, when Mark's at work, I sit here and I'm in silence, really. Like when I'm doing my work, I don't want to hear the radio or the TV in the background. But as soon as Mark gets in, he likes it. So I kind of then start watching it. There's all that flooding going on over in Sydney and that at the moment. And it was like, I knew nothing about that until like this morning. A lot of pressure. Yeah, exactly. Well, Jesse, at the end of the day, you've got the capability. Whether or not you activate it or not is up to you. So good for you as well for stopping that. Yeah, I do. I see a lot of sacred geometry in dreams. And actually, yesterday or the day before, I'm losing days at the moment, but we had the Lucia light therapy system with us at the retreat, which is like a light therapy system you put over your head and then you just relax and you see all this sacred geometry. So all these colors and shapes, and it basically decalcifies the pituitary gland. Sorry, the pineal gland, so that you can allow in more light. But it's almost like a kaleidoscope of colors, and it's so relaxing. I thoroughly recommend it. If you ever come across the Lucia light, amazing. So you only found out a day or two ago, yeah, about those floods. You hear through YouTube, do you? Yeah. Good for you guys. Good for you. I'm glad that you're not tuning into the news and you're spending your time instead tuning into me. Make sure you share the video that I do with your friends and family and stuff as well, because then it'll help people become aware of what I do. It would really be very, very beneficial and helpful. Hi, Katie Candy. I haven't heard from you for a while. Where have you been, Katie Candy? So sorry, Jeanette, I'm doing yours, aren't I? So let me just see if I can find your date of birth again. Just need to scroll up a little bit. So you're the 17th of the 1st, 1966. Brilliant. Okay. So straight away, I can tell you are very creative. You're very, very creative, aren't you, Jeanette? Jeanette with 2 T's. 11976. And you're very sensitive as well, because you've got the arrow of hypersensitivity. So this is what yours looks like. So there you go. That's the 3rd time this has appeared today. No numbers on the soul plane. So what this means is you have got a weak soul protection, Jeanette. So you get easily hurt. And this can be like, that you might end up then isolating yourself off a little bit. Now, you're ruling. So your day number is an 8, and the 8 is all about organization, control, and independence. So your day number influence is you like doing things your own way. You like to be in control. You're very independent. And, often you could be a good money manager. It's that sort of energy that comes through with that. So, the 8s usually make good managers. They're quite process driven, you see. The 8 people, they like to sort of have they recognize that the future needs to be built on solid foundations. And if we look at the influence of the color of it in the color mirrors, we can see that number 8 is Saturn. So Saturn energy, which is lilac over violet, and it's old father time. So you recognize that your future needs to be built on solid foundation. So you're prepared to put in the hard yards. There you go. Katie Candy goes, I've been busy enjoying life. So happy to make to a live reading from you. Oh, fantastic. Have you never had a live reading of me before, Katie? I'm sure you ordered a Starseed Numerology Report about 6 months ago, didn't you? I'm sure I've done a report from you. Oh, it's your favorite color as well. Well, do you know what, Jeanette? Often when you are attracted to the color violet, it's because you've got unresolved grief. All right. So that can be an interesting one. Or what could be mental health problems as well. So maybe being depressed can come up. So, you can work with yellow, which is its complementary, that will bring more joy into your life and it'll help you lighten up a little bit and not be so serious. So Jesse says, I was shown a sphere made of triangles, sphere of each triangle point, spheres at each triangle point that had a different location inside. Interesting. Yeah. That is interesting. Yeah. So you maybe want to Google it and see what comes up. I know I was using a lapis lazuli pendulum over the weekend, and it was really, really powerful. I was getting some really fantastic swoops and stuff like that. Hey, Demi, how are you? There, you just sneaked in there, haven't you, Demi? It's like a deep blue. Yeah, it was an ancient Egyptian crystal. The Egyptians used to use it all the time. There you go. I've got a good memory, haven't I, Katie? There you go. So Katie says, I sure did. And the reading was fantastic. Highly recommended. There you go. I did tell you guys, didn't I? If you haven't already got one, you've got a lapis lazuli ring. Beautiful. Okay, so these 2 6s. 6s are all about creativity, but they're also about destruction, the opposite of creativity, because all numbers have both positive and negative influences, you see. I think that was just the washing machine. I've got the tumble dry. I've got some pants and socks on tumble dry. Yeah, so but that can also be, you can be a bit possessive within the home because you love the home and family, but sometimes you can, when you're living negatively, you can get a bit possessive of that. I'm great, thanks, Demi. Yeah. That's right, Jesse. I reckon you did have an Egyptian past life. So we can also see as well that, you know, you've got some sacrifices that need to be made because your 7 is isolated. So what that means is that either love, health, or money, one of those 3 things you're going to have to let go of. And again, that pattern will repeat itself until you learn the lessons, because you like to learn life through your own experiences. So what I mean by that is, like, it could be love, health, or money. And so it might mean that you love and lose, and then you love and lose and love and lose. Or it could be you make money, lose money, make money, lose money, make money, lose money. What's going on with the tumble dryer? That's crazy. And then you've got those 3 ones. So there's 2 very distinct types of people with 3 ones. The ones that are very quiet, and the other ones which, you know, don't say boo to a goose. You know, you get the 2 types. And sometimes you get those that can talk a lot when they're in bright, happy company that they know. Then you've got the 9, 10, 16, 22, 23, 31. So you are a 4. Okay, so it's actually derived from the 31, which is the hermit bottle in the color mirrors. So it's actually, you can isolate yourself a little bit to integrate heart-related healing, but you are a practical person. You're very organized. You've got a great sense of organization in your 8 energy, your day number, and also your 4. And the 4 is your Uranus energy, which is the planet of the future. So these are, you know, it's about letting go of old structures, people, places, anything that kind of keeps you feeling like hemmed in or boxed in. But you do like the material aspects of life. Nice home, nice car, nice clothes. You like all the nice sort of things, but you're quite practical as well. So you'd be the sort of person that you'd give a flat pack to and you'd be able to put it together really easily. There you go. Being sandwiched between the Pleiades and Orion is fun. Night night, dog is walking in peace. There you go. So you've actually always been shy up to until the last 5,410 years. Oh, I was going to say, how old are you? I was going to say you'd give me an inaccurate birth date if you're 5,401, 410 rather. 5 to 10 years. So you've come out of the spiritual closet, have you, Jeanette, now, which is good to hear. But you are very sensitive, you know, you're hypersensitive. Yeah, but there's a great deal of creativity, and I actually feel like you could express that creativity through your hands because you've got the practical aspects and all that creativity, but you must use it. What do you do then, Jeanette? What is it that you actually do? I feel like there's something coming through for you as well. Like it's like Sandy or Sandra or Sarah or Susan. It's an S sounding female's name that's close to you right now. I don't know whether she's in spirit or whether it's somebody within your house. I think it's somebody. It feels like a daughter energy that comes through with this, or like a daughter or a younger sister or something like that. It's an S sounding name. Feels like Sandra or Sharon or something. Who's that? Because that's something that's coming through with you. And I feel like, okay, so it's like there's problems around this person that you need to assist with. So you love craft and working with children. So Jessie says, I was in a guided meditation to see my started home world. The guide who met me was clearly wearing an Egyptian style headdress. I was surprised. There you go. Fantastic. A starseed home. Brilliant. There you go then. Fantastic. So yeah, so there you go, Jeanette. Okay, so it could be for somebody else then. All right, so this is connected to, so it's either it feels like a Sandra, but it could be a Sarah or a Susan, and I feel like it's somebody's daughter, and they're having issues at the moment, and they're drawing attention to. It's almost like there's some sort of injury as well that's connected with that as well. You're welcome, Jeanette. I'm glad that you enjoyed your insights there. And remember as well, if you fancy looking at how this all corresponds to your name as well, your living name, which I presume is Jeanette. It's always difficult to tell, really. You might be called Jean or whatever, but also your pyramids as well, which are your peak years of maturity that you enter into at various different points of your life. And they give you like a predictive number that can help you understand what transitions you're going through for the remainder of your life, and what you should be doing if you're unfamiliar with your purpose. But also your starseed origin as well. So it will actually look at the location of your sun at the time that you were born, and from there I'm able to determine accurately which star system that you mainly spent time on. Yeah. All right. Excellent. All right. So I'm going to go on to the next person. So there is definitely, I'm being told here now that this is a person in spirit, and it's definitely somebody. It's definitely somebody who is crossed. So who's got a daughter? There's somebody whose daughter has crossed that's watching. It's for you. All right. Somebody whose daughter has crossed. All right. If you're watching and you're a bit nervous about putting your hand up, then you can always contact me afterwards. But there is somebody here that wants to communicate with somebody here. So it's somebody whose daughter crossed. All right. So who should we go to? Who did I say? Was it who's next? Who wanted to have the next one through? Who's Clarissa? Hi, Joanna. Joanna Rose. Joanna Rose, leave your date of birth and I'll have a look at yours next if you like. Was Clarissa the person, the daughter that crossed? Oh, it's your sister who crossed. No, it's not that. I'm being told it's not her. No, this is somebody's daughter. It feels like a daughter. Or it depends on how old. You saw her like a daughter. Was she younger than you, Alexandria? Okay, so your mum neglected you. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it's her. Okay, so what we're trying to find out at the moment is it feels like an S sounding name, but it's somebody's daughter. It feels like somebody's daughter crossed, but there would have been problems, and there was problems with the leg as well. So there was issues with the leg, like a broken leg or issues with that was connected to this person. Yeah. There was like a car accident or something like that, and there was a leg that was broken as in the incident. But there was all maybe they struggled walking for a while. Yeah, so 1966. Two sixes are 4, 2 1s. Okay, so the fourth time that this has come up. Yeah, so it's not her, Alexandria. I didn't feel like it was her. It feels like it's somebody's daughter. So it might be somebody who watches this video after the live. And if you are that person, then please contact me and I can see what I can get. But it's the name, it's an S sounding name. It feels like a Sandra or Sandy that's come through, and it was somebody who crossed in a car accident, but they had leg issues as well. All right, so it's quite specific. All right. All right, so Joanna, what we can see there with you, and interesting as well that you've got the 2 6s as well. So this means that again, you're a very creative person, and you can express your creativity down through your hands. Because you've got the ability, quite a strong ability to create. But you love the home, you love the family, and sometimes you can get a little bit possessive of that. So it's an interesting thing that comes up with the 2 6s. You can sometimes be a bit possessive of the home and family. You also are a doing person. You're quite organized, quite practical. You like the material aspects of life, the physical active participation in life, but you do have a very weak soul protection, so you get easily hurt. The arrow of hypersensitivity, which is the lack of your 2, 5, and 8, just means that you're sensitive, almost hypersensitive, really. And also you can be quite skeptical as well, because you've got the arrow of the inquirer, which means that for you, it's difficult for you to take on new concepts or ideas, or, until you go through your own process of research. And then when you do, and you find out something, you become like an avid convert. Okay. My grandfather. Oh, tell me more. Tell me more, Jesse. If you feel like you see my grandfather, tell me more about him. I'll tell you if it's him or not. So, Joanna, you're very wise, and also you like to help and be of service to people. So you're a real humanitarian, and a very ambitious person as well, and quite idealistic as well. So you look at the world through rose-colored spectacles. What we can also see with you is that you've got balanced communication skills. So you're a good listener as well as being a good talker, but you do tend to react in emotional situations sometimes. Yeah, tell me more about the grandfather then, Jesse. Because my grandfather crossed ages ago, but I haven't felt him close to me, because I think I was only about 4 or 5 years old when he crossed. And I've not really ever felt his presence since. I was quite young. I think I don't really see eye to eye with him now, Jesse. Yeah, I don't really see eye to eye with him now. Just because of some of the stuff that I found out about, So what we can see there as well is Joanna, you're a day number 10 person. So we get that through adding the 1 and the 9. And the 10 energy is, it's very adaptable. So you're quite an adaptable person. You can put you into any environment, any job, and you do quite well. You can be, you can like to have your friendships remain a little bit superficial, because you don't really want people knowing what's going on for you emotionally. And you're a leader, but you lead with a very soft feminine power. So when we look at bottle number 10 in the color mirrors, it's this one here. So this is gold over olive green. And this is kind of like a very soft feminine energy that can never be abused. But you are better off having your own business. All right. You're a manifestor. Turn base metal into gold. You can create. If you're given lemons, you create lemonade. Yeah. Well, if he does feel ashamed and apologetic, then it would make sense. Yeah, and I'm sure he is sorry, but I don't think he never did anything to me. No, he didn't do anything to me, fortunately. Well, not that I can remember, anyway. So what we can also see is the 9, 10, 16, 6, 9, 10, 16, 22, 26, 36. You're a 9. You're like me. There you go, Joanna. You're a 9. Now, the 9 energy is Mars, fiery Mars energy. So it's red over orange. And actually, this is great wisdom, but it means you're not a very good money manager. You're better off, working in healing or counseling rather than in corporate. And you've also got to make sure that you are, that you could have your own holistic business. That's what I would sort of think would be good for you. I have no memory of him twiddling his thumbs, Katie. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember him that well, to be fair. I don't really remember him that well. Oh, you've got your own healing business, have you? Yeah. I think it would be good for you because you're quite intuitive. You're a bit of a leader, Joanna, as well. I think, I think you are somebody who's a bit of a leader. But you've got to make sure that you speak up about how you feel to the people that annoy you or upset you in some way, instead of bottling it up and then getting angry and frustrated. So that's like Mars. That's what Mars energy does. I've got a propensity of, well, I had a propensity of doing that. But red and orange have always been my colors. So I love this bottle. Like, this is my favorite bottle probably in the whole system, along with my 26. I'm a 27/9, and that one's gold and orange together. So I like the warm colors. Yeah, don't think it works like that. No, it doesn't work like that, Ram, I don't think. Did you like that? Yeah. Joanna, these are just some little insights for you today, just to sort of wet your whistle, I guess. But if you want to have a full Starseed Numerology report, then I offer those as well. And they're like a 16-page handcrafted report based around your living name, Joanna, and your date of birth. And it looks at all of your color influences, your starseed origin, your pyramids, your peak years of maturity, all your tarot card influences. They're amazing. They're like a life roadmap, as to sort of like what you're here to do, why you're here, what your purpose is, and what you've got to work with as well. So they're really, really cool. Yeah, so I left a link, I think, further up. So if you want one of those, you can get those from my online store. You can order them from there if you want. Hi, Donald. How are you? Donald Cardoso. And you're born on the 2nd of the 2nd, 1970. Interesting. We'll have a look at yours, because you're quite a sensitive guy, Donald. You're quite psychic, quite intuitive. You like being in partnerships. There you go. So Jesse says, yeah, Hayden does a really good job on the charts, guys. Highly recommends it. Do you see, Jesse's my super fan at the moment. He's like my biggest super fan. There you go. It's always nice to have at least one super fan. All my super fans actually in Perth, they all came to my retreat over the equinox weekend, over this last weekend. All like there was 7 women who are like mega super fans who've been to both of my retreats now. And yeah, it's just so nice to sort of have that kind of support. It's been brilliant. That is the special, Jeanette. Yeah, so it's 59 Australian dollars until the end of the month. All right. So you got 7 days to get your orders in if you want them at that price. What was Rum saying? Dog's back, piece shattered. The boy's a silly sod. Oh, is he barking? Is he, Ram? Yeah. Animals, they can be a challenge, can't they? It can be a right challenge to look after. Okay, Donald, are you still there? I'll have a look at yours for you now. Whereabouts in the world are you, Donald? Where do you live? Because Cardoso, that sounds like, is that like a European name? You were born in 1970, so you're 2 years younger than me. So you're what, 46 years old now. You got the 7 and the 9. Okay, so Donald, I'm with you. Just make sure you're still here. Just say yes that you're still here. Is there anybody there? There you go. They are totally different energy. I'm a cat person, but I want a dog now because I've got a cat, and I actually don't get that much. I don't get that much comfort off my cat. She never sits on my lap, and she won't let me stroke her or anything like that. But I do love her. I've always had cats, and cats have always been really, really friendly and lovely to me. What sort of dog have you got? You can't have my cat though, because Mark, my husband, won't let you have the cat. Are you there? Are you there, Donald, or have you disappeared? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Are you still there, Donald? I'm doing your reading for you now. There you go. It's a boxer shepherd mix. Oh, interesting. Boxer shepherd. Oh, that's an unusual mix as well. So has he got a squashed face, or she, or a long face? Because boxers have usually got they've got squashed faces, haven't they? You're a cat lover, but you still love dogs, do you? Yeah. So I love both as well. Like, you know, but my husband won't let me have a dog yet. We've been together like 20 years. And I've been banging on about it for probably about that long as well. But I think that we just don't feel like we're in the right house yet. Hey Tanvi. Yeah. Well, I go live at different times. You know, it's just when I feel like, you know, I've got the energy to be able to do it, Tanvi. Oh, nice. So a boxer's body, but a shepherd's face. Dogs are better. I love dogs. Are you still there, Donald? Donald, if you're there, I'm going to look at you. If you're not, I won't. Right, I'm going to wipe your name off. Wap, 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 wap. You snooze, you lose. You snooze, you lose in this life, isn't that right? All right then, guys. Well, look, I've been banging on now for a long, long time. Haven't I not done one for you, Mizuki, before? I think I've done one for you, Tamvi, and you could leave your date of birth if you want, since you've just popped in at the right time. Have I done a reading for you yet? That's who. Oh, for your twin. So your twin's born on the same day as you? I thought I'd done yours for you before, Mizuki. I recognize your name, Mizuki. It reminds me of like it's like a car's name, isn't it? Like a Mitsubishi. Oh, I got it. Psychically, if something would come up. Stella. That's a good name for a dog, isn't it? Stella. Is that as in like Stella Artois? Or because of the cosmos? That means moon in Japanese. Oh, that's cool, isn't it? Japanese moon. Oh, it's a twin flame. Oh, your twin flame. Okay. So let's have a look. What's your twin flame's name then? The 18th of the 4th, 1991. You got the 4, you got the 8, you got the 2, 3 ones there. Stella. Yeah, that was a streetcar named Desire, wasn't it? That film. Stella. Just like that. Katie says, my friend's name is Erica. Okay, so we're going to do this twin flame one next. I'll need to know the name. Give me the name of your twin flame. Is this someone you've met? Tell me this isn't someone you've met on I know you said Grinder then. I meant what's it called? God, my memory's terrible today, isn't it? The is it eHarmony? I don't know, that major dating app. Tinder, that's it. You've had a reading by me. Yes, I thought you did. You saved it. Oh, that's awesome. Tambi, what's your twin flame's name? Okay, so this person is very organized, okay, because they've got the 4 and the 8 energy together. It's quite likes to be in control, so you have to watch that. This person might want to do things their own way. Likes the material aspects of life. I get the feeling as well that they are very wise, and they want to help people and be of service, because they've got a day number 9, which is that Mars energy again coming back in, you see. But I actually feel like they have got a bit of an issue around spiritual and material conflict, where they feel like they can't do their soul-based work and survive from doing it. So it's quite interesting. Oh, his name is Himanshu. Himanshu. Cool. He's very skeptical, though. He's quite an inquiring mind, so he won't take on board new ideas or concepts until he gets his own proof. And then if he does and he's proved right, then he'll be like an avid convert. He's got a 9, 10, 24, 32, 33. So he's a ruling number 33. So he's all about mastering love. The 33 is another master number, but it reduces to a 6. So he's very creative. He's in love with the idea of being in love. He likes balance and harmony within his relationships, and he likes, being creative at home as well. But when he lives negatively, he can worry and he can get anxious and that type of thing as well. So both of his numbers are mind numbers, the 6 and the 9. So he sits on the mind plane. So sometimes, he can, it offers him balancing reinforcement, but it actually means that he can sometimes live in his head a little bit too much. There you go. So Tansy says, yes, on point, 100%. So yeah, so you're an 11 and he's a 33. Cool. Yeah, so you're both here for a spiritual purpose, but his main goal is to master love. So, he has to bring self-love, unconditional love towards self, and, a broader sense of divine love together for him to be able to fulfill his mission. There you go. All your data belongs to us. Just checking in. We are receiving your transmission. That's very funny. I like it. A major personal lesson, yeah. So you might, in your relationship, if you haven't got an 8, he might want to be the one that takes control all the time. He's very kind, though, and he's very ambitious. I feel like he's got a lot to achieve and can be quite idealistic as well. But really, I feel like he's got the propensity to do quite well in business. Well, he's in spiritual work anyway, or helping people, either being like a nurse or a doctor, or or in a humanitarian organization, I think would help him a lot. Yeah. So, and if you want me to look at your compatibility between the two of you, I was doing that for a client earlier on who is a guy, actually. He's called Kishorn. Yeah, he's a really sweet guy. And he wanted me to do a compatibility between him and his new boyfriend. And yeah, it was so interesting because their charts, their birth dates, and even though they were different birth dates, their charts were practically identical. And that's what's known as a complementary relationship, not a supplementary. It's where the person carries the same traits as you. And what is better in a long-term relationship, at least, is when the relationships are supplementary. So your partner offers differences where you don't have them in your own chart, and then it sort of brings about a bit more intensity and excitement and variety. There you go. So Tammy says, oh my God, yes, he hasn't done well in his jobs. No, he wouldn't. He's better, he's better off working in holistic stuff than he is really within anything else. Like, definitely not really in corporate. Nah, he won't be a very good money manager, I shouldn't imagine. Nah. He needs to be creative at home. So there you go. So who's watching now and they would like to have some insights? Come on. I'm going to stay with you until my husband gets home from work. So he should be home soon, actually. But it's nice for me to connect with you guys. good to connect, isn't it? Hopefully I'm bringing a ray of light into your day. There you go. And I'm going to pick out another card for you. All right. Give you some good news, Jess. Okay, so this is called star bathing. Star bathing. And this is light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. And actually, if you go under the stars, especially at the moment, because we're having all these activations and upgrades right now because of the equinox, go out and bathe in the stars and activate your light body, because that will help you to clear your survival issues. And you want that, don't you? Yeah. And the stars are particularly bright at the moment. When I was at the retreat at the weekend, because obviously it's so far away from light pollution, I could see Orion's belt directly above the house, and I saw a shooting star. It was just beautiful. It was crystal clear, and it just made me feel so grateful to be living on this amazing planet. You know, even though it, you know, it is in a dark corner of the universe, on a planet that's, you know, in duality, I still feel really grateful to be here because nature is wonderful. I think we always have to go back into gratitude and appreciation for what we've got. I think each and every single one of us, we owe it to ourselves to be that. So there you go. Well, look, lots of love, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Have amazing rest of your week if I don't see you again. Bye for now, guys.